Hi everybody, this is Liz Schote, Director of Clinical Nutrition and Registered Dietitian at Jackson Purchase Medical Center, doing another Learning with Liz lesson with you today. And I actually have a guest with us today. This is Connie Jackson. She's a registered nurse and director of our endoscopy department. And she's going to be talking a little bit about cancer, colon cancer prevention. You know, the last couple of weeks I've been talking about National Nutrition Month and been going over different topics about that. So March is also known as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to talk a little bit about some facts about colon cancer and some of the new guidelines that are out there for us. And then I'm going to talk a little bit on some diet-wise with some prevention. So Connie, tell us a little bit about colon cancer or colorectal cancer and some of the facts that you've kind of found.
Okay. Liz, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer of men and women in the United States today. And an interesting fact is 1 in 24 men and women are at risk for developing colon cancer in their lifetime.
Goodness.
In 2018, the American Cancer Society changed the recommendation on the first-time colon cancer screenings. So the American Cancer Society now recommends at age 45 that you have your first-time colonoscopy.
Did y'all hear that? 45.
Now that's for men and women that are at average risk. If you're high risk, such as you have rectal bleeding, you have a family history of colon cancer, you have a family history of colon polyps, you should discuss with your physician what age you should start because it may be much younger. When you find colon cancer early, there's a 90% chance of a 5-year survival rate.
And that's significant. You know, think about that. That is just if you can catch it early, then, your chance of survival is just phenomenal.
Yes, and many times with the colonoscopy, we find polyps and we catch those before they actually turn to cancer. So that is why the American Cancer Society decreased that age because colon cancer was on the rise and to help find those polyps before they actually turn to cancer.
And that's it. I mean, you've got to get those screenings done earlier so we can catch that, So anything else that we can do to help prevent a person from developing colon cancer?
Well, to prevent colon cancer, your diet, your weight, your lifestyle changes, your exercise, all that is preventive mechanisms. And I'm sure you can discuss your diet, how that affects colon cancer.
Yeah, with diet-wise, the main thing is trying to increase our fiber intake. And it can be kind of difficult of what they encourage for us to do. And that's around 25 to 35 grams of fiber in a day. So you have to, really think about it and plan out of what you want to try to do. So I'm going to kind of give you a couple of tips. We'll also attach this to this talk so you can actually, if you want to print it out, you can. But, 25 to 35 grams, so kind of an average of 30 grams in a day. A person wants to slowly increase your fiber intake. If you just throw a bunch of fiber in there just right at once, your tummy and your colon's not going to enjoy that very much. So you want to slowly increase that. So how can we do it? So making sure we're getting whole grain breads, whole wheat breads. Make sure the first ingredient listed is 100% whole wheat flour with those breads instead of being white flour with brown food coloring added to it to make it brown. Looking at 100% whole wheat, like with rye, oats, bran, being either the first or the second ingredient listed. Having brown rice or wild rice rather than white rice. Same thing about pastas, trying to get your whole wheat pastas instead of just doing our pastas from the white flour. Also, there's a lot of vegetables that contain different amounts of fiber in that. So your brown beans, your white beans, your baked beans, white baked beans are very high with fiber. Choosing more like your fresh fruits and your fresh vegetables. Eating that skin on that apple instead of peeling it off of there. Because that skin has a lot more fiber contained in that. And read your food labels. Try to find the higher fiber content on that label when you're reading that label instead of going with that lower fiber. I know a lot of kids won't eat whole wheat bread, but what one bread company has done is they've added whole grains to their white bread, so that adds extra fiber to it. So that way it encourages those kids to eat higher fiber. But also very important, when we increase our fiber, we have to increase our water. Because if you don't increase your water intake, you're going to get really constipated. So very, very important that you drink. Set a goal. This is a big goal too, is at least 8 cups of water in a day if a person possibly can do that. So, trying to do some prevention things that you can do. Like Connie says, changing our diet if we need to, exercise. No smoking, that's a big thing also with colon cancer as well as other cancers, but that is a big thing with that. So we can do things to help ourselves instead of trying to do something after it happens. When Connie said one thing that really made an impression with me is 1 in 24 are at the risk of developing it. Think about next time you're in a large group of people. One person out of those 24 people that are standing there probably is going to develop colon cancer. So what can we do to help ourselves with that? So we hope this kind of gives you just a little bit of information about some awareness about colorectal cancer and ways that we can try to prevent it. If you have any questions on this, please just drop us a line and we'd be glad to get back to you. Also, if you have any topics that you would like for us to talk about, please again just drop us a little hint on there, and that'll help us too. So we hope everyone has a great day. We are going to attach some information to this talk about from the American Cancer Society as well as from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics about nutrition and also about colon cancer. So we hope this kind of gives you just a little bit of some education today. So thanks and have a great day.